I think we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I know it's busy February and there's a lot going on, but I appreciate your time here and coming together and talking about campaigns. We have a lot of exciting things coming up. And I also just wanted to thank you, especially the chapter leaders and Arc of Taste committees, for all your work as we've been putting together a lot of new kinds of communications, whether it's you know, the end of the year campaign or the communications, the magazines, the social media, the preparation for Slow Food Nations. It's an exciting time at Slow Food USA, and I'm excited to have you all on board on our team together. So I wanted to give you a quick recap here of the last few campaigns. And as I go, please use the chat box feature on the right-hand side of the screen here if you have any questions. Ian will help me moderate. You can hear me okay, right? Okay, great. Chat us your questions as we go so that we can stop and answer questions as we go, or you can just, we'll have a good record of questions that we can review at the end. So don't forget your questions. I want to get to them all and really want to make this a dialogue with you to make sure that these campaigns are a collaborative effort, that we're working together on this and doing some exciting and creative campaigns. So without further ado, let me just give you a quick recap of the last two campaigns that we have run. Oh, my name is Anna. Sorry. I put this slide in here to remind me to introduce myself. So yes, I'm the Director of Communications and Campaigns, and that's my email, anna@slowfoodusa.org. Okay, so I wanted to start with the membership campaign. This happens annually in September, right? The theme this year was Come to the Table. This is our lovely design. We had a few really exciting things happening this year. We had a promotion running with the Kona Coffee Association in Hawaii. We had a collaboration with Snooze Restaurant based in Denver, but they had chains throughout the U.S. We had a partnership with Meatless Monday. It actually feels like a long time ago, but I wanted to give you a brief recap on that campaign because I know we haven't had a campaign-specific call since then. So here's a rough idea of the numbers. Our total goal for income was $8,000, so we raised that and exceeded that. We had 1,415 donors under $250, which is a really significant number. I think that's it's important to have a larger number of low donors to show that we have a good base of support. 290 new members, and throughout this presentation you'll see the exciting increase in membership and supporters, which shows that our network is growing. One of the most successful days was the Give What You Can Day, which was September 15th. We raised $10,000 from 501 members. That's a really important day for us to make sure that everyone can be part of this movement, right? That it's not only people who can pay $50. So it's a nice way to give some urgency to that day. We encourage people to promote activities around that day. And I know some of you had chapter meetings on that day to help encourage new membership. So from the end of 2015 to the end of 2016, we had a 15% increase in membership, which is really exciting to me. Let me see here. And then some of you have asked about which chapters are successful. All of our chapters, we appreciate the work that you put into this, but just so you have a sense of some of the bigger chapters that are growing more quickly. We had Sacramento, California, had 12 new members, 62 renewing. East End, New York was another large one, as was New York City, South Bay, North Louisiana, Marathon County, and Seattle, Washington. Those are the top 7. We could go through more specifically. If you're interested in your particular chapter, I'm happy to let you know offline. We can connect later. But yeah, it's exciting to see these chapters doing a lot of work on the membership campaign and holding meetings and encouraging new members, and that work really paying off here. As you may recall, we had this campaign in a box offer so that we packed a whole bunch of new swag for you guys, the new membership brochures and stickers, and we sent out 67 campaign boxes to chapters in September. It was a massive packing project here in the office. You should have seen it, like temporary tattoos all over the place and stickers, and but it was a lot of fun, and it was fun to see that swag getting out into chapters and getting new members on board. So every year we also do a campaign at the end of the year. This is, again, another fundraising-oriented campaign. This year was different because we really partnered closely with Slow Food International, and we tagged along with their campaign to love the earth and defend nature. This was the theme of Terra Madre, and Slow Food International expanded that into an international fundraising campaign. So we worked with them to also use the theme. We designed these really cool tea towels with this is the snail with the Ark of Taste, some Ark of Taste products in the snail. So we use this as like promotions and some fun gifts. So the end of the year campaign, we had 650 people who signed the manifesto. This was one of the ways that we tried to engage people beyond just, a donation, but we asked them to sign the manifesto. We had 1,608 total donors, and then from the total that we raised, from Thanksgiving to Terra Madre Day, we bookmarked that time period to give the money that we raised onto Slow Food International. So we were able to pass about $18,000, $19,000 on to Slow Food International, which just about doubled what they raised internationally. So it was an exciting thing to be part of the international campaign and to be able to give our mothership such a substantial donation contribution. This was also the first time we really used Giving Tuesday as a Give What You Can Day. We focused on Terra Madre Day and had some nice email letters coming out from Isabella Rossellini and Carlo Petrini. So this model of partnering with Slow Food International, we really want to work towards that model and do more of this collaboration, right? Because we're all in the same movement, the same organization, and it's really exciting and beneficial to work together as a team. So at the end of 2015, and supporters here is both members and donors. We had 7,429 supporters at the end of 2015, and then at the end of last year, end of 2016, we had 9,130. So this is a 23% growth from last year to this year, which is very exciting. Exciting to see this really come together. Getting a message from Loretta. Slow the Fork Down swag was extremely popular in our area last September. We love our cheeky phrases. So thanks. I'm glad we pleased the crowd there. Okay. So let me just pause there a second before I get into the spring campaign. Are there any other questions from the these past two campaigns that I can help answer before I move on to the future?
Yes.
Yeah, if you can add them to the chat box. So Lauren Howe is saying, how are we defining supporters in the last slide? Right, so supporters that you see here are members plus donors. So it's not, we're trying to give people multiple entries into being part of the Slow Food movement, right? So people can engage in just simple, if they like our social media or they, sign the manifesto. But here we're defining anyone who gave any money, right? To both donors and members. Did I clarify that? Any chance? Charity is asking, any chance to ask the growing chapters what they did to grow membership and share those ideas? Yes, I would love to hear from those growing chapters. Maybe the best way is to send me like some bullet points of things that you did that worked really well, and I can reach out to you after that too, and then I can share that out with the group. But that's a great idea because, of course, this membership campaign will happen every year, and it's good to get some internal sharing. So thank you, Charity, and thank you, Sacramento. It's good, great growing chapter there. Peter asked, "Will Give What You Can happen again this year?" Yes, definitely. We plan to do a Give What You Can day as part of every campaign, right? So in the spring, there will be a designated day as Give What You Can. We'll do these about quarterly. Because we think it's very important to have those Give What You Can days. Any other questions? I know there's some callers.
Give what you can question.
Who's that?
My name is Ian Walensky from Glades Coast chapter in South Florida.
Ian, did you hear that question? I'm sorry.
My question is in regard to Give What You Can Day.
And what's the question?
My question is why, if you're going to create a Give What You Can Day, as in the last Give What You Can Day, why was it extended over a month and never shared with the membership?
Well, so the question is, why was Give What You Can Day extended over the month? I think that only happened in the June campaign. Back in June, the 100 days of 100 years of plenty.
No.
100 days. We want 100 years of plenty. And that was kind of an experiment to see how that would work. We've found that having Give What You Can as just a single day creates a sense of urgency that is really important for donors, right? If we say Give What You Can as a whole month, then people don't give because they're like, oh, if it's a month, I can give tomorrow, and they just don't. Sometimes, and maybe this is where
but you need to tell that to the chapter leaders
at the end of the campaign. So, for example, at the end of year campaign, we changed to the last few days of the year to Give What You Can. So those kinds of things, it's hard to communicate far ahead of time because it kind of depends on how much how successful we've been so far, and it creates a sense of urgency and surprise at the end of the campaign. So there's definitely always a planned Give What You Can Day that will communicate, but then sometimes, depending on the needs of the campaigns, we might add the another at the very end.
Well, perhaps you should share that with our leaders, because it's funny. My chapter was not listed under the Gaining New Membership, and I more than doubled my membership based upon the Give What You Can Day. And if I would have known that the Give What You Can Day was extended, I would have, I don't know, I probably would have broken all the records.
Yeah, communicating those.
I paid for those. I paid for people to join.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you all that well.
When I realized that it was extended to Give What You Can, I paid.
What's he saying? What is he saying?
That I paid for people to join.
He would have broken record.
Yeah.
Need people to join. Yeah.
I think this is something we will definitely work on as as we roll out these new campaigns, and work on like communicating that better with the chapter leadership. I understand that's important.
How am I supposed to sign people up?
From Lauren, I'm just getting that membership box. Did we miss an email offer, or do we need to get on an ongoing list? Yeah, sorry if you missed that box. We advertise that through the Leader Links email, so you should definitely sign up for that email if you are not getting Leader Links. Leader Links go out every other week, and they are a great way for us to communicate these campaigns and other things going on. So definitely I think you can sign up for that via the Leader Resources page on our website. Okay. Okay, so save your questions, keep writing them in, but I'm going to keep going with the spring campaign because I think we might get some more questions from that. And yes, thank you. Lauren just chatted the link to sign up for the Leader Links email. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, spring campaign, yay. So the idea with the spring campaign, this is really the first campaign where we're trying to engage people who maybe aren't necessarily attached to a chapter. Maybe they live in a place where there is no Slow Food chapter, or maybe they don't really want to be a member because they don't really care about membership, but they like the idea of slow food and they want to be involved and do slow food, right? So we wanted to build a more fluid campaign structure to help get them involved, right? To help bring them into our movement. But to not necessarily say that along with this comes all these membership things, right? So just let people engage with slow food more as an individual and as a community. Not to say that we're not working with chapters. We definitely want chapters as a full partner on this, and we'll be providing some chapter kits to help with this. But that's the idea, is that we're trying to find other ways for people to engage in our movement and to make that movement grow, and as we grow it, have people connect to chapters, connect to the local slow food chapter as they engage in our campaign. So also with the spring campaign, we are really trying to connect to Slow Food Nations. Of course, Slow Food Nations is a major event coming up in July. Hope you all have your calendars marked for the 14th through 16th in Denver. But we want to make sure that as Slow Food Nations, we have a nice representation from farmers and some excitement from the Arc of Taste. So this idea of the Arc of Taste Garden Challenge really sprang out of the excitement that I see from the Arc of Taste. You know, a lot of chapters do activities around the Arc of Taste. There's a lot of work that goes into nominating Arc of Taste products, and a lot of school gardens have already been growing Arc of Taste seeds. But we wanted to give individuals more of a chance to actually engage in the Arc of Taste. So this spring campaign is looking to have people plant seeds from the Arc of Taste. And we really want to have chapters engaged in this, school gardens engaged in this, but like I said, also individuals engaged in this. So I think this will help give a lot more awareness to the Arc of Taste and help people really understand what biodiversity means by growing it and by tasting it. And by experiencing all those new flavors that the Arc of Taste highlights. So the idea here, I was looking back at the victory gardens from World War II and saying, all these wonderful phrases like plant a victory garden, dig on for victory garden, sow the seeds of victory, plant and raise your own vegetables. It's these ideas is really about food sovereignty. It's about, well, it's not about fighting the war against the Germans, but it's about fighting climate change, right? In this day, we really want to highlight the importance of biodiversity in climate change and to do this kind of national grow out of Arc of Taste seeds. So it's really about bringing individuals and communities together to rally together and make a larger impact and show people, what it means to grow your own food, to get your hands in some dirt, and to try some new flavors that you might not be able to find at your local grocery market. So the idea here is to plant a Liberty Garden. We really like the word liberty as it's a way for us to feel free and to engage in a civic engagement act, but also very local, very personal. Our goal here is to have 1,000 gardens across the USA growing Arc of Taste seeds. This includes we're estimating about 600 school gardens. Hopefully as many chapters as are interested. Hopefully that will be the majority. And then this new kind of champions, we're calling them, slow food champions, which would be individuals who are inside or outside a chapter who want to act as part of the slow food movement. So financially, our goals are a little more modest. Remember to Thrive. We're looking to raise about $60,000, and a good chunk of that will go to finance the school garden grow out, meaning like we're sending free seeds to schools. They don't have to pay. So part of the money will go to fundraise for that. We also really want to provide the way for Arc of Taste producers to get to Slow Food Nations. So the idea here is that the Arc of Taste committees would nominate one producer per region. So I think there are 6 regions. Lauren, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. 6 regions, each region sending one producer to Slow Food Nations to showcase the work that they're doing. So for schools, chapters, and champions, what we'll be doing is putting together like a sampler Arc of Taste kit, right? Like get started in biodiversity. So this will include 3 seed packets, and will include a garden sign. Let me give you a little demo here. That actually the Midwest Arc of Taste Committee had put together last year. So a little garden sign to put at the front of your garden, and then a little plant marker for each row of plants that you're growing. Some recipe booklets that highlight the food that you'll harvest from your garden. And then some fun, stickers, a poster, maybe some garden gloves, all in this little like Arc of Taste starter kit. So for schools and chapters, that will be available for free. And in the last Leader Links, we actually sent out the link to register to request your kit. Make sure you check the Leader Links. It's also on the Arc of Taste website for chapters to request a kit. But then champions, we will be charging, I think probably $40 or $50. We haven't settled on the price yet, to buy this kit. And then we'll have options available for people to give more if they want to support a producer more directly. That's the basic structure of the spring campaign. Some other ideas that I'd really love some feedback for this. First, this idea of the champions. How do we reach people kind of outside the choir, right? People who are not necessarily in your chapter. I would love some help thinking about how to reach a wider audience on this. I forgot this slide. Okay, here's my slide. Another idea that I had, and I would love some feedback, is this idea of a crop mob. I don't know if any of you have done this. I know I talked to the Slow Food Denver folks, and they said they've done a crop mob where basically you get a group of volunteers and connect them with a local farmer, and do like a day of volunteering for whatever that farmer might need. If it's weeding or preparing the beds for the garden, or it would obviously depend on the farmer what they would need. But I think it would be fun to have to designate Earth Day, April 22nd, as kind of a day of volunteering, right, where we connect individuals with small farmers in their community. I think that individual attention is really important. It's really important to build relationships with farmers and really get a sense of where food is coming from. And I think it's important as people, maybe new gardeners, are getting the sampler kit, and maybe they don't know how to deal with seeds. They could ask the farmer for help also. I've also had some ideas on engaging people with social media. So, for example, maybe we'll do a photo contest. Maybe we'll do some doctor's hours, like getting farmers and gardeners on Facebook Live or some kind of video talking about practical tips for growing seeds, and some other social some fun activities, whether that's getting people to contribute videos or photos, or I'm really open to ideas here, but I think we can have a lot of fun with this. So maybe let me pause again and see other questions. Can producers buy some seed? I'd love local farmers to be able to grow more ARC products. Yeah, this question from John. For this kit, we've been working with Seed Savers Exchange and some other seed companies that have donated seed for us. Maybe we can connect offline about how to get producers buying seed. I think the best maybe is to connect them with the seed companies and see what partnership we can work out there.
That'd be great.
We had requests for those. Hold on. Another question. We had requests for those Arc of Taste signs. Anyways, Slow Food USA could do a larger printing. Yeah, the signs are great, and I think Jennifer and Jeannie Calabrese in the Midwest for creating these. I think, yeah, maybe if you want signs beyond the what's in the kit, you know, in the kit will be one large sign and 3 smaller signs. Maybe we connect offline also. Send me an email, and I can either send you the design files, and you can order more, or we could work out some arrangement where I printed them extra to cover your needs. Okay. Charity says, New York City chapter is working on a tool that will connect Arc of Taste producers with small restaurants wanting to buy. Good tool to share. Yes, definitely. Yeah, connecting Arc of Taste producers with restaurants is, yeah, if they have tools that we could definitely make that part of our campaign. Disco Soup Day on April 29th from Scott. Yeah, that's interesting. I think that could be a good connection. Let me write that down and think about that. I think that we could, it makes sense to do something together there, and I think the disco soups have been really popular with universities in particular, right? So that's a good thought. Warren Ness says, we've hosted dig-ins, same as Crop Mob concept. Farmers appreciate it for sure. I like hosting it on Earth Day. Yeah, I don't really care what we call it. I mentioned this to Slow Food Denver, and they're like, oh yeah, the crop mobs. If we call it a dig-in, a crop mob, I think the idea of connecting volunteers with farmers is really great. So let me, I think Earth Day makes sense because it's a Saturday, right, April 22nd. And so I think what I'll do for that is send out some kind of form so that you can let us know the details, and we can help advertise and make it a whole national day. Loretta says ours is an info garden, not a school garden. The online order kit says it is for school gardens, and the form asks for school info, so I'm confused. Can our chapter order? Okay, so there's 2 forms right now, and this is, we're trying to make it a little simpler. There's a form for school gardens, and there's a form for chapters. There's 2 different forms on the website. So chapters, just make sure you use the chapter form. East End chapter had a host of great activities to promote their Arc of Taste pumpkin. Yes, Charity, I've been in touch with those folks. That's a great idea. The Long Island cheese pumpkin, right? And East Bay chapter is exploring connections with Arc of Taste growers and restaurants. Just starting today. Yeah, very cool. I think a lot of chapters are doing this kind of work with Arc of Taste. You know, Arc of Taste connecting with growers, with schools, with restaurants, with producers. So I think this works well. Laura says Sonoma County has been doing a grow out where each year we purchase Arc of Taste seeds and give them to local farmers. It gets bigger every year. Okay, perfect. So that maybe I can pick your brain for what's been successful and what has not. But this would be right, local farmers, but doing that same idea with individuals and like home gardens also. Sonoma County. Great. Any other questions or feedback? I will definitely, I'll send a follow-up email about this campaign. We are just finalizing the overall structure of it and the general timeline. We're thinking of launching this in early March, so around March 1st. I mean, we've already asked school gardens and chapters to request a kit, but for individuals to buy a kit, that will launch in early March. Susan Miller, have you selected which seeds and which quantity come with the kits? Yes, we've gotten a bunch of donations of seeds from Seed Savers Exchange, Baker's Creek, a couple other terroir, right? Lauren maybe could chime in with this. So for the school gardens and chapters, we'll send a variety of seeds. For individuals, we want to be really careful on sending seeds that are easy to grow, that won't take very much effort. A high success rate, I think, is really important, especially if these people are beginner gardeners. So something, seeds that can be sown directly outdoors. We don't want people to have to start seeds indoors. So yeah, we are working on that based on the donations that we've received. Scott Lewis asked, was also confused about school versus chapter application. How many schools in a chapter can apply? Right. We apologize for the confusion. We were just talking about this yesterday. I'm like, okay, we need to make this process simpler. So a school, each school can apply for a kit, and each chapter can apply for a kit. Does that make sense? So if you have multiple schools in a chapter, each school could still receive a kit, but should apply. You should submit one application per school. Schools also have the opportunity to get potatoes, which is exciting. Great. Okay, so yeah, I've been relying on the expertise of the Architects Committee to help us decide which seeds go out and how to frame the campaign. So please let me know if you have additional ideas or if there's ways that you think your chapter has already done this kind of project and we can work together. I love the idea of connecting to restaurants and producers. Maybe we use this campaign as a foundation for future campaigns, or maybe there's a way to incorporate this for a chapter. But there's definitely a lot there. I just wanted to charge into the last slide that I have, which is talking about the fall campaign. Actually, I know this seems far away. It's past Slow Food Nations. It's past this particular campaign, but I think it's important to just give you guys a heads up of what we're thinking about for the fall. So we're really interested in getting the Chefs Alliance started in the U.S. This is, you may know, is an international initiative from Slow Food International. A lot of countries are already active with the Chefs Alliance. The general idea is for chefs to, show their alignment with slow food and to commit to slow food values in their work. Right, so this spring we want to ask chefs to kind of sign up for the Chefs Alliance. We'll ask chapters and leaders to nominate chefs so that we build a good database of chefs. And then we'll kind of officially launch the Chefs Alliance at Slow Food Nations. So we'll have a little kit for them, and we'll talk about what it means to be the Chefs Alliance. We want the chefs in the Alliance to really own that program and kind of talk about what they would be excited about. The idea is in the spring to launch a Meatless Monday Arc of Taste Chef Challenge. And if we could add a few more words onto that. No, it's not a catchy phrase phase yet, but we'll get there. So the idea here is to work with Meatless Monday, which is a partner organization of ours. But instead of focusing on no meat, we want to focus on introducing the new flavors, new flavors from the Arc of Taste, and getting chefs to cook with Arc of Taste products. So this ties back into the, connecting producers with restaurants. So we want to do a campaign where chefs commit to maybe a quarterly, maybe we haven't quite worked out how often this will happen, but a day where together chefs offer a special item on their menu of an Arc of Taste item. So this is an exciting way for them to highlight the Arc of Taste, to connect with some local producers. We've been working with Anson Mills to hopefully get some donated product from the Arc of Taste to distribute to chefs. And so that's just an idea in the future that the details are yet to be worked out, but I wanted to give you a heads up that that's the long-term planning. So this is, kind of frames us for a year of Arc of Taste, a year of biodiversity, a year about talking about how biodiversity impacts climate change, how it impacts meat issues, how it impacts school gardens and home gardeners and local producers. I think there's a lot of fun we can have with this, and a lot of it has a lot of ways for chapters to customize these campaigns according to what meets your chapter goals, but also gives ways for individual consumers and communities to engage with slow food in different ways. So that is the campaign spiel that I had. Are there any last questions that you want to ask? You can go ahead and put them in the chat box. And you can definitely follow up with me. My email is here, anna@slowfoodusa.org. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, you want to see more details about anything. Again, I'm really excited to partner with the chapters and Slow Food leadership and make sure that that we're working together on this. Any questions?
Anna, this is Lauren. Can I add something?
Yes, please, Lauren.
So I just wanted to follow up on the question from Scott Lewis from Glades to Coast about how many schools in a chapter can apply. And we've had lots of applications come in, and to try to simplify the process and also reduce shipping costs, our thinking is that if it's 1 or 2 or 3 schools, have them apply individually. But if your slow food chapter is working with multiple schools, say more than 3, if you could reach out to us, we can then coordinate with the chapter to do 1 shipment. That would be better for us if that works for the chapter leaders. So please email us at arcoftaste@slowfoodusa.org if you want to send multiple schools in your network Arc of Taste seeds.
Great, thank you, Lauren. You want to just put that email up on the chat? Thank you. Arc of Taste at slowfoodusa.org.
It's going to be done.
Question from Warren: will there be a formal chef collaborative component to Slow Food Nations? The whole thing will be collaborating chefs, of course. Right. Yes, there will be an official launch of the Chefs Alliance on the delegate day on Friday. There will be an official gathering of chefs. Yes.
We're also planning on having some industry electives that are focused on chefs and the restaurant industry, so there'll be other opportunities for chefs to engage in specific events at Slow Food Nations.
Thanks, Lauren. I also wanted to let people know that we do have a network calendar on the Leader Links page on the website. So as we get dates in place, we will add those to the Google Calendar that's linked there. For example, when we've settled on the Day of Giving, the Give What You Can Day for the spring campaign, which I think may be in Earth Day, April 22nd also, we'll add all those dates there and keep you updated. Okay, I think that's a wrap. So please let me know. Email me, anna@slowfoodUSA.org, if you have questions or concerns or comments, or you have this amazing idea that we should all do together. I think we can have a lot of fun with this. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.